Hey wrestling fans, this is Rick Blade telling you to tune in to BJ and DG, the best wrestling talk on YouTube.
That's right, people. Welcome back. BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. This is our review show of SPO's Key to the City. Before I get into anything, I just want to say thank you, Rick Blade, for the promo. It was a little hard hearing him. He's a soft-spoken guy, but appreciate the promo, man. And if you're not familiar with Rick Blade, go check out some old CZW clips from 20 years ago. He's all over the place. BJ here, DJ over there.
How's everybody doing? What a show we were at last night, man.
Oh my
Which
God.
Also, by the way, real quick, get this out of the way real quick. From Gremlin House Wrestling, this awesome shirt they do, the Gremlin Taker on this one was the last one they had, so I had to get it. Amazing stuff they're going to be doing for Gremlin House Wrestling around in North Jersey, so I highly recommend looking them up on social medias, checking them out.
And I finally got myself a backseat shirt, and it's not my size, but it's just a little incentive for me to lose a little bit of weight. So I'm loving it.
I mean, I have that shirt, and also speaking of the back seats, getting some of the guys got 3 of 4 members still around to sign it. Donnie B, I'm looking at you to be the last one.
Donnie B, he needs your John Hancock.
The meet and greet was great.
No, meet and greet. Yeah, we could do a whole show just on the meet and greet.
Yeah, they had Rod Todd back there, Santa Kringle, Gremlin House, Ruda Entertainment, who made the new SPO Tag Team Championship belts. Which those looked fantastic, by the way.
Oh my God. Amazing belts.
You had the Grim Reaper there with the Prospects promoting Loud East Wrestling. We had the Patriot there. Yeah, Catch Point. Simon Gotch, James Ellsworth. Was kind of a who's who.
Yeah.
Right? You had Rick Blade sitting there signing autographs.
Willie Mack just walking around.
Yeah, like it was something, to be honest, getting to look at that and touch the JCW championship.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, guess we should get into it, shouldn't we?
Let's get it.
Show kicked off with one of the many musical performances we had throughout the night. We had musical performances from Lavari, Billboard artist. We had Battle Rap from Tay-Rock. Nailed the Hood Prince Charming.
Velcro.
Yeah, Velcro performed himself to the ring. And then that's also where we had the Battle Rap with Tay-Rock, which we'll be getting into that and much more. But yeah, what a show was. High energy beginning to end.
Absolutely. Overall, I mean, the energy was just, you could feel it in that place. Like, and it's funny too, because it was so laid back until the show actually started. And then once that bell rang for the first match, the place was just on fire.
Yeah, I mean, even at one point of the show, we had a group of kids all of a sudden break out into their own battle royal behind us. Like, the energy was just amazing for the show. Like, props to everybody doing their stuff with us.
Okay.
Hey, don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it froze up for a minute.
Yep. But yeah, props to everybody putting everything together last night. It was absolutely amazing. But I say we get into it and talk about our opening match of the night, which was Ruthie J representing NWA and going up against current TNA superstar and current hybrid / SPO women's champion, Tasha Steelz. Now, when we did the Taking It Home show, I did feel like this match had the potential to be a show-stealing match.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like it fully lived up to that, but it was still a great match between these two ladies.
Absolutely. It's a great way to set the tone for the rest of the night. Very athletic competition. Never seen Ruthie J. I've seen Tasha at the last SPO event, and I mean, she's our champion. I was behind Tasha 100%, but nothing against Ruthie. She was a hell of a competitor. Put on an excellent match.
Yeah, beginning to end, like we could see that they were kind of evenly matched throughout that. There wasn't really any one specific point where you're like, all right, this is going to end here.
Right.
Like, hey, Ruthie J, respect to her because she gave Tasha a fight for her money and for that championship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And in the end, Tasha came out victorious. Great face versus face, great competition. And then the handshake happens, and then Ruthie shows her true colors.
Yeah, and this completely beats down Tasha after the match. And maybe it was a little bit of frustration because it reminded me a lot of the Pat Dynamite and Feral Face match from the last show, where you could see hitting your opponent with everything you have and no matter what, still kicking out.
Yeah.
But that shows how tough Tasha is and how much of a deserving champion she is as well.
Absolutely. And I wasn't behind her when she won the belt against Christina Marie, but I'm sold. She's our champion.
And after that turn, I'm definitely wondering if we will get part 2 of that.
Well, I did speak to Ruthie J at some point after that match, and she said she'll be back in SPO. So I do have a feeling we will see a rematch.
I mean, after that, you kind of got to do the rematch, right? Like, there's some unfinished business there now. If she didn't do the whole beatdown after the match, the handshake was the end of it. Because Tasha showed that respect to her, and then just the turnaround of disrespect. And as we know from Spocast, when Ruthie J was on there being interviewed, we know she's trained by Gangrel, as was brought up on the Taking It Home show. Like, she has a good pedigree of learning.
Oh, yeah.
And I am looking forward to seeing her back in SPL ring in the future.
Absolutely. Great stuff from both ladies. Looking forward to seeing a rematch or, whatever other matches they can throw together involving either of them, because I am just a fan of watching them both compete.
100%. So, do you see a rematch coming in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, I hope
the next show, but I'm hoping at the next show. If not, maybe something set up for the show after. But I definitely feel like gotta hit that iron while it's hot still. Like, I want to see it. I think that Ruthie J, even if she didn't beat Tasha down at the end, would have been very deserving of another shot at that championship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It was a great showing for her first appearance in SPO.
Absolutely. So hopefully we do get to see them go at it again in the future. As I said, anything else you got from that you would like to talk about? There were a couple fun spots in that match.
Yeah, I
well.
Okay, so I got some video clips from last night, and I'm going to be playing them throughout the show. I do have a clip from that match, but I haven't uploaded it into the stream. So I did, however, post it on my Instagram. That's BJ Drinks Beer on Instagram. So if you want to see Ruthie J deliver I don't even know what you call it, but she ends in like the Falcon Arrow position.
It's kind of like one of those Seth Rollins moves.
Yeah. If you would like to see that, it's a 30-second clip. Go ahead and check it out on my Instagram. But I do have clips from the next match.
Well, then lead us into it, good sir.
Wait, the next match was. Oh, what is the next match? I'm all messed up with the order.
So, the next match, as I get through my stuff here, was Primal Fear versus the Post Game.
Oh, I knew that 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I do not have pictures or videos from this match. I was thinking of a different match.
I do, but I had late waking up this morning, couldn't get everything edited out and ready to go because it's a lot of stuff. But there will be stuff posted in the future. And maybe we'll even talk about some of this stuff again somewhere in the near future. But yes, Primal Fear and Post Game. And Post Game was performed to the ring by Lavari.
Yes. And Primal Fear was brought out by Rerun.
Yes. Which by the way, another person who was at the meet and greet. It's always great to see him. Fun guy, great guy. You ever get the chance to meet him, I highly recommend it. But
he's a funny dude.
When we talked about Primal Fear and Post Game during the Taking It Home show, you were, and in the review show for the previous event, you weren't all that impressed with Post Game. And I brought up the fact that the level of competition they were going against the current SPO tag team champions. And so now we got to see two teams fighting now. One fighting just to be acknowledged, right? Fighting to be seen. And another team fighting to get into that championship picture. What did you think of Post Game in this match?
I really saw something out of them, something that wasn't there during the match with the backseats. Their in-ring work was a lot better, and they actually had a little bit of personality. They were actually, I was laughing a little, like at some of their in-ring non-wrestling work.
Even when they were coming out to the ring. Because I'm a person, I like to record a lot of the entrances and stuff like that. They even stopped right in front of us. It was definitely, they showed more personality this time. We got to see more. We got to see where I still think Primal Fear is ahead of them in competition-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Just given the time they've been a team compared to Post Game. But Post Game really did show something this time, and it was something I was trying to tell you before. Like, I saw the hints of this last time, but going up against another very experienced championship tag team in SPO, it's that skew of talent of where, hey, they've been here teaming together for a while now. This team just got together, So like,
I still don't think they're ever going to win a match in SPO.
Give it some time. You got to crawl before you walk, right? And I mean, they were going up against Primal Fear, which, not saying we're completely impartial about it, but they're great guys. And, every time we get to talk to them, it's a great time.
And this whole time we've been talking about this, we've been talking about it as if Primal Fear is just another tag team.
No, they are absolutely not just another tag team.
Future SPO tag team champions, I could definitely see that happening at some point. And these guys are just so high energy, just so hard hitting. You're in a fight when you fight.
Joel, how you doing? Sorry, I was clipped over on another thing. Didn't see the comments right away. Yes.
Yeah, Joel, it was awesome seeing Willie Mack live. In fact, we'll see some of that later.
And I'm going to be honest. After hearing, on Spocast, the backseats talking about this Willie Mack and stuff like that, and just how he speaks, he is just generally himself. Yeah. And it's something like this, talking to him and everything. Like, it was just really cool. And
Yeah,
again,
definitely.
getting to see that JCW World Championship belt for the first time, like in person, is such an amazing championship belt. But yeah,
So yeah,
as we were, Primal Fear, man, they're favorites wherever they go. They really are. They
Yeah.
bring energy, and you can see that they don't take any opponent lightly. It doesn't matter if it's that team's second or third match or that team's 30th match. Like, they went in there and post game gave them a fight.
Yeah. There were times it was back and forth. Like, there were times I thought post game might have had it.
Yeah, like, we got to see more of the weapons they have, of the moves they have, of their teamwork, and they definitely, I will say this, looked better than I thought they would.
And I feel like they had a little bit more confidence to them. Even though, like, they are all confidence, I feel like they really, like, believed it this time.
Oh, definitely. Like, and I mean, you got to buy into your own hype, right? At certain points.
But yeah, Primal Fear with the win.
And then after the match, we had an interesting face-off there with Skills the Great coming out with the prospects from Loud East Wrestling, who, if I'm correct, being currently trained at the Grim Reaper School.
Okay.
I do believe that's what they were saying on Spocast and stuff like that, because he spoke very highly of them during his interview. And another great guy, by the way, the Grim Reaper, had a chance to talk to him some. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get possibly Primal Fear versus the Prospects sometime in the future. It looked like there was a nice setup for that. You even had Rod Todd Rerun facing off with Skills the Great right up in his face. That was absolutely amazing. And that's another person who just brings the energy no matter what.
Oh, yeah. They couldn't have paired a celebrity with a tag team better.
But what did you think about the ending of that after we saw Skills the Great come out with the Prospects and seem like, they didn't seem all that impressed with Primal Fear, which might be a mistake.
Yeah, don't take Primal Fear lightly. I don't care how much confidence he got. But, yeah, at the same time, though, that big dude looks pretty intimidating. And although I didn't see him without his fur coat on, I know he's got some muscle under there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Just unfortunately, it's going to be against my boys, Primal Fear.
Yeah, it's a big task for them.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I hope they have plenty. If it happens at the next event, they got a good probably 8 weeks to train, roughly, somewhere around there. So I hope they are ready for Primal Fear, because Primal Fear is going to bring the fight.
That's right. All fight, no flight.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of that, and my brain just blinked on it. So then,
yeah, it was a rough night, and we got home 14 hours ago.
Yeah, I think I got back home at 12, just before 12, maybe a little after.
Yeah, so it's been a long night, or
Yeah.
It hasn't been a lot of time in between also, and we got a night of sleep in, so we're not firing in all cylinders,
But yeah, so then after that amazing tag team match, somebody that we knew was going to be at the meet and greet, Joe Clean, who we got to talk to for a couple minutes,
right,
who ended up, which we didn't know till it happened, was the special enforcer for the next match we're going to talk about, the dumpster match between fan favorite Homeless Vaughn and Calculated Kurt Robinson.
Yeah.
Ooh. What a fun match that was.
Yes. Very back and forth match. Well, that is until Joe Clean, you know.
Hey, we even had one of the guys, I think that was from the Ruda Entertainment table, who was walking around with the championship belt, run up and get his head cleaned with Joe Clean's mop.
Oh yeah, Joe Clean, always working.
Yeah, which since I don't have it uploaded, I can show right here. But yeah, that was a nice surprise.
This match I do have some video clips of, but we'll talk about it a little bit because it's all the ending of the match. So yeah, back and forth match. Calculated Kurt, like, you know, the more I say of him, the more I don't like the guy, but I gotta respect his ability.
Which is another one of the guys from Catch Point as well. Which we'll talk more about Catch Point later. But yeah, man, you can see he's good. Like we can't deny Kurt Robinson that he's not good. One of his trainers is Drew Gulak, you know, who's another amazing tactician in the ring. He knows what he's doing. So if you're being trained by somebody like that, but wow, some of the spots in this match, the shattered kendo stick during the match.
Yeah.
I think, what was it? Kurt Robinson did like the STF with the kendo stick. Like, so many. The only thing, and I will continue to say this just because, you know, I'm a mark for this stuff when it comes to Homeless Vaughn. I was very disappointed he wasn't in the dumpster waiting to come out for his match.
Well, he woke up early. I mean, it shows he was a little more prepared than usual. I mean, usually we see him, he's still sleeping when when his match starts.
Yeah, got a hand or a foot sticking out from under the ring or something like that. I just don't know how you sleep when you're like the third or fourth match on and you got everybody being body slammed in the ring and stuff like that.
It really cracked me up when Kurt Robinson came out with Homeless Vaughn's shopping cart full of toys, and people in the crowd were chanting, "That's not yours."
Yeah, that was. But yeah, man, this was a match that probably left some bruises on people.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you had Joe Clean as the special enforcer, who Kurt Robinson eventually attacks for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, and that. Well, why don't I just get into the clips? That led to this. That's not the clip I thought it was, but that was the right one in order. So let me set that clip up again. And that led to this.
Finish him off, Vaughn! Oh no.
What a shot. The old toss it to him variation of Van Daminator there. Classic.
Man, that was just a fun match. It was the first time I believe I've ever seen a dumpster match actually in person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've never been to one.
So it was definitely fun. It was something. Now, where do we see Homeless Vaughn going from here? Because this was the rubber.
Well, hold on. Let's see how it ended.
Well,
what's that?
I was going to say maybe we should save that because the show will get uploaded on YouTube at one point, and we don't want to give away too many endings.
But we're talking about it. I mean, that's what we're here to do.
I mean, we also want people to watch the show. But
they will. It's it's a short clip.
Let's roll.
Oh man, gotta love it.
So where do you see Homeless Vaughn going from here now? He's won the rubber band match. So
Yeah,
he's
so hopefully he's fighting someone other than Calculated Kurt Robinson.
who could you see him going up against right now of people maybe we've seen already in SPO?
That is a good question. Yeah, that is a tough one. It would be interesting to see him up against someone like Lucky, who we haven't seen in a little while, but he's still around. Yeah, I don't know.
What about Calculated Kurt Robinson? Where does he go from here? I mean, he's lost 2 out of 3 to a homeless guy.
I definitely see him kind of using this
As motivation.
As motivation. Doing a little bit more calculating and
You know what? I'll say this. And even in a loss, maybe one of these guys can maybe get a shot at Johnny Cashmere and the Silver Skywalker Championship somewheres down the line. Because they would be both legit contenders to that championship.
True.
I mean, I think Homeless Vaughn should get it first. Me personally.
That hasn't been defended for a while. Yeah. I think that definitely needs to happen. Not necessarily with either of them, but I think I feel like it's time for that title. We need to see that again.
I think it would be an interesting matchup. Would maybe be Homeless Vaughn versus Joe Clean.
Yeah. But I feel like if that were the case, Kurt Robinson would just run in and try to get revenge.
But in that case, I think he would go after Joe because Joe was the enforcer for that match. Joe, as we saw,
I feel like he'd go after both of them.
I mean, but I think his primary target would be the guy who held the dumpster to make sure he went into it.
Fair enough.
So, our next match. Boy, and this one was just going from the dumpster to getting that key to the city in a key to the city ladder match. And we get Hank the Buffalo out and his partner, none other than one half of the SPO Tag Team Champions, also one half of the JCW Tag Team Champions, Tommy Grayson.
Now, card subjects to change played in, to this match. At first, it was announced that it would be Pat Dynamite and Hank the Buffalo, and then it was the Patriots' protege, and then ultimately, I guess because of the weather, maybe the Patriots' protege couldn't make it. Whatever.
I mean, maybe Tommy's one of the Patriots' proteges.
I don't. Maybe I don't know, but
hey, you can't. You can never have too many minds to go to in the wrestling business. You can learn something from one guy and learn something completely different from the other.
Fair enough.
But
versus go on.
So even before this match really gets started, we get Blackout coming out. The man who ended up injuring Robbie, he picks as a replacement for him in the match. And we get Robbie attacking Hank the Buffalo and working on that leg and taking him out, essentially leaving this as a 2-on-1 handicap ladder match.
Oh, that was a weird noise.
And oh boy, did Tommy deliver and put up a fight in this match, being 2-on-1.
So we haven't said who Tommy's opponents were. because it was announced that it was going to be Robbie, but then Robbie like kind of took himself out of the match by attacking Hank to the back. So it was Ruckus and what was the dude's name? This is really going to bother me. We'll get to that. But it was Blackout, two of Blackout versus Tommy, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my brain right now. I cannot remember.
Yes, it was a long day. There was a lot there. But yeah, wow. Tommy really did put up a fight in this match. Like 2-on-1 in a ladder match is absolutely insane.
We got a hard-hitting, just an amazing display for the first, 6, 7, 8 minutes? And then this happened.
Get the key! Get the key! Oh, man. Oh, shit. Holy shit! Holy shit! Hey! You
Wow.
I don't know who that was at the very end with the F-bomb, but language. We just went PG-13 on accident. Nah, that wasn't me with the F-bomb.
Oh, no, you gave a holy S there.
Yeah. I stayed within the PG format.
And you also said, also simultaneous to that happening, what he said was, Hank's back. So we look over, and there's Hank back.
Limping out to the ring
with
Johnny Cashmere, which essentially sets it up as if Johnny was replacing him in the match. Hank the Buffalo tells him, get in the ring, climb the ladder. Johnny gets in the ring, sets the ladder up in the middle, climbs, and pulls down the key. What we thought was the winner of the match, which I'm pretty sure they still won.
So the way, okay, we have to, hold on. We have another part to reveal before we try to break down how it, okay. So then Johnny celebrating to the crowd. Tommy's just getting up from that ladder spot. Johnny turns his back to Hank, or hands the key to Hank, turns his back to Hank. Hank lays him out with the key.
And what we think is Hank turning on Johnny is revealed to actually be Robbie Illuminati himself.
Despicable.
Well, the man did say he had a brain and that he was going to use it, and boy, did he pull the wool over everybody's eyes.
He worked me. Last week's Spocast, he worked me. I said to him, I said, after I was convinced that he had turned over a new leaf, I said to him, Robbie, are you serious about all this? Or are you just full of it? You're Robbie. Well, why don't you wait and see? I knew at that moment he didn't turn over anything.
I mean, do we really expect anything less from him?
No, he is who he is. We know that.
Yeah. And just the attack on that. And then Mayor Roots of Chester.
Mayor Roots.
Yeah, which, by the way, had a chance to speak to him. Amazing guy. Hands down. Very nice. But yeah, so with that, saying how nice of a guy he is, Robbie is in his face. I believe the mayor takes the key back from him and then pushes him down in the walkway. There is a lot going on, and I don't think this is over yet.
No, I mean, meanwhile, you got Blackout brawling with Tommy. It was madness. Let's take one more look at that spot. I just can't help myself.
Get the key! Get the key! Oh, man. Oh, shit!
Now, previous to that spot, me and BJ were sitting next to each other right there. And the ladders moved a little closer to the right turnbuckle. And he looks over at me and he's like, I don't like where I am. And then the ladder moves over about 1.5 feet more toward the middle. I look at him like, I don't like where either of us are. Let me tell you that we're just sitting there waiting for somebody just to spill into us.
Pretty much.
We were definitely in the danger zone.
Yeah, and you gotta love just indie wrestling, like you know what I mean. Like you have that connection. You know what I mean. The crowd is a part of the show as much as, if not more, than what you see on TV.
I mean, without the fans, whether it's us or anywheres, without the fans, none of it makes it mean more, especially with the crowd that was there last night. Like, given the weather stuff and everything, that all those fans still turned out for an amazing show.
Absolutely, and the weather could have been worse, but it was bad enough. You know,
it wasn't as bad as we all thought it was going to be, though.
Yeah. Fortunately. All right. So what do we got next?
Let's see here. I believe after that was the intermission. They had the quick intermission, you know, for everybody.
Right.
To go meet more people and stuff like that. That was when I had the opportunity to talk to Simon Gotch. Which, great guy. I love hearing him tell stories and stuff like that when they do it for Trip Backseats and Trip TV and stuff like that.
Like, I could watch him talk all day.
Yo, he could just do an audio podcast and I would just listen to it.
Absolutely.
Hell, he could have one that's like 4 years in and it'll take me like a year to get caught up just listening to it all.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, a lot of fun moments. I do have a photo here. Let me see, where is it? This photo right here is after Robbie revealed who is in the Hank costume in the Eagles jersey, and then in the neon yellow hoodie is the mayor, and Robbie basically rubbing it in his face. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff.
I didn't have a lot of time to edit video clips. I had a lot more I could have added, but I'll definitely be posting some of them to Instagram, by the way.
Oh, and then something very special that did happen after when we came back from intermission was with Johnny Cashmere. We have Damon Feldman, who, if you're not aware of who he is, he promotes the promoter for celebrity boxing. And they've known each other for a long time. Johnny even did the celebrity boxing thing a couple years ago, I think, if not longer. And Damon Feldman comes in the ring, brings out Johnny Cashmere, and inducts him into the Celebrity Boxing Hall of Fame.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you could obviously tell Johnny had no clue whatsoever.
Oh, no, yeah, he was surprised.
Like, what an honor that is for him to happen. And Damon also put him over about putting together these amazing SPO events. Like, it was absolute honor to be there to see that. Even to the point that, give me a moment, that is not great, but that is the Hall of Fame ring.
Whoop. Keep it up.
Sorry that it's blurry and everything. There is a picture of him with the ring on hit to Johnny Cashmere Instagram and all other social medias. And like I said, it was just an absolute honor to be there to be able to witness that moment.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And I mean, just another celebrity who was there in Damon Feldman, right? We now have celebrities coming to these events. It's
ridiculous.
Random, like we see a random WWE superstar walking into the building just as a fan buying a ticket. Like, no, like he was there, and he was there for a reason. And nobody knew. So let's see. What did we have next after that? Oh, scroll too far. Which, by the way, before moving on to go back to the ladder match real quick, major props to Tommy Grayson for doing what he did 2-on-1 in that ladder match.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were moments where I thought he was going to win it 2-on-1. Which also, did they win that match since Johnny did pull it down?
Oh, that's what we were going to say. Okay, so here's what I think the call was. Robbie was announced to be in the match. So he was technically in the match. Johnny was not. So when Johnny brought it down, it didn't matter. He gave it to Robbie, who was technically in the match. That's who wins.
Oh, boy.
So Blackout wins.
So that means Robbie Illuminati technically won the key to the city.
Yeah, despicable.
Absolutely. But yeah, so after we had the Hall of Fame thing going, what did we have next? Oh, we had
Catch point.
Yeah, there was I'm sorry, we don't have all the names for everybody.
I know one of the guys was called the Aviator. That's all.
Yeah, but all four of these guys did an absolute killer job in that match. It was a fatal four-way featuring some young up-and-coming talent who's been training at Catchpoint, who I also do believe was part of the Simon Gotch seminar that had happened earlier in the day.
Yeah. Saw a lot from these guys. So there was one guy who looked like Ken from Street Fighter. There was the Aviator, who was basically a pilot. There was a guy who looked like a Samoan, maybe, and then a pretty boy, an out of touch pretty boy, I guess you would call him.
Yeah, but
the out of touch pretty boy was like one of my favorites in the match. And I can't remember his name is on the tip of my tongue. It's I can't think of it. You know, it's a rough day, but no, I really saw a lot from these guys. I was very impressed.
Absolutely, like it's nice to see a lot of this young and up and coming talent get a spot to be able to go out there and show what they're about.
Yeah, it was a fatal four-way. It was actually a very good match. Ken from Street Fighter won. Ken from Street Fighter won. But there were moments in this match when any of them, I thought any of them could have won. I said that wrong. There were moments in it. Every one of these competitors had a moment in the match where it looked like they were going to win.
Yeah, and then you got the real heavy hitting, the superplex with two people power bomb. Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, the tower spot.
Yes. Hold on, I was actually just as we were talking, going through pictures, and
we are unprepared.
You know, it was a late night last night.
Very nice. Float up.
A nice little photo.
Me. I haven't even learned how to use StreamYard. What am I doing? Oh, I'm trying over here.
Well, let me see if I can.
Yeah, you can do it.
Nope, that just lets me move it. I don't know what I'm doing here.
But anyway, so Hold on. Oh, there we go.
That's the photo there. Hey, there we go.
Look at that. Yeah, so there's Loverboy on the left. I can't remember his name. There's the Samoan guy on the right, and then Ken from Street Fighter and
Well, the Samoan-looking
Aviator.
guy.
Samoan-looking guy. He might not have been Samoan, and which don't tell who was that up in North Jersey. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Wouldn't want to accuse anyone of cosplaying Samoan.
Hold on. Let me fix this. There we go. Said I don't want to be.
I just said he was Samoan-looking.
He's Samoan-ish.
He's Samoanish.
You know, we will acknowledge that he is Samoan-ish. But yeah, I was really impressed.
Very nice
with
guy.
Yeah,
He's a very nice guy. I met him after the match.
I was very impressed with all four of them, to be honest. I want to see more, and I hope that some combination of them at one point or the other at future events we do get to see.
Definitely.
And then after that, boy, oh boy,
it was a weird one.
Yeah, this next, which is the first, as he will proclaim himself, the first ever women's Money in the Bank winner, James
Well, he technically
Ellsworth.
is. He technically is.
Who comes out with, who was also the substitute for Robbie in the ladder match as his, I guess, bodyguard or whatever. I guess James didn't want to get hit so hard that he grow a chin. I don't know.
Hold on, man. We got to figure out this guy's name. I feel so bad. I love Blackout.
But yeah, we get James Ellsworth coming out as his typical cocky self, you know. And we never really did get this match because all the talking back and forth, the Tay-Rock battle rap that he basically shut Ellsworth down, and neither one of those guys liked that, and ended up in a brawl with the match never starting officially.
I can't find this guy. Yeah, I really had no idea what happened there because everything happened on the other side from us, so I couldn't really see what was going on.
Yeah.
I guess I technically saw James Ellsworth compete.
I mean, we got Velcro performing himself out to the ring. He had Tay-Rock with him and somebody else, I do believe. Oh, and Gruesome.
Yeah, and Gruesome was with them.
Yes.
Shout out to Gruesome. Met him after the show. Really good dude.
Yeah, real good dude. Boy, I'm hoping that this comes back around at some point, but I don't know if James Ellsworth is going to want to come back around after all that because Tay-Rock shut him down to the point which was the funniest part of his little battle rap things when they started calling him Smellsworth. I really enjoyed that. Like there wasn't a lot that happened with this. It also may have appeared a little bit that after everything happened that Velcro may have hurt himself a little bit or gotten hurt during the whatever happened with all that because he had to be helped to the back.
Yeah, I saw a clip where it looked like he hit his head pretty hard going down from that top rope to the outside spot.
So hopefully he's okay. I saw that before their match, Tay-Rock and Velcro had the new SPO Tag Team Championships in their hand with the caption that in the next year they're coming for them championships.
Yeah, sure.
So, hey, you know, if somebody's gunning for that gold, when you're a champion, you always got to be looking around with your head on a swivel. Everybody's coming for that spot, right? Because that's where you want to be. Which, do I think they have a chance against the back seats? I'm going to be perfectly honest. No. But I might be also a little bit impartial there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
honestly, the back seats are just dominant.
Yeah. I even had a chance to talk to Velcro a little bit during the intermission before their match. Really nice guy, man. I'm going to be honest. The one song he did perform when he came out, I personally liked. I feel like what he's presenting, it fits him, which is a very good thing. Because you don't
He's not a rapper. He's a rock star.
Well, last night he was neither. He was a wrestler.
Not even really. I mean, did the match even start?
No, the match never started. It never started. Which is why I hope maybe it comes back around somehow at some point.
Yeah.
But moving on to another one of the featured matches from last night was top guy Griffin McCoy going up against the other half of the SPO Tag Team Champions, one half of the newest incarnation of the Backseat Boys, JP Grayson. And boy, this match was what we thought it was going to be. 100%.
Absolutely.
If you watch Taking It Home Spocast from this past Tuesday, we all were pretty much in agreement this was going to be one of those harder hitting matches.
And it absolutely was. Didn't have any idea who was going to win until the very end. Like, no one really had that much of an advantage. It was big move after big move, back and forth.
Yeah, and they did. It was an excellent match. And Griffin McCoy is no slouch. Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, I've seen a lot out of him.
You know, like, I think we've practically seen him at every SPO show we've been to at one point or another. And we've seen what he's done in other companies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's no stranger to that hard-hitting style. And as I said during the Taking It Home show, that my only concern was JP is a tag team wrestler. He's not a singles guy, you know.
You wouldn't have known.
Absolutely not. It really looked like he was prepared for this match, and they both showed up ready to go. There were some hard chops in this match.
Oh yeah.
Wow. But in the end, JP pulls it out, which I do believe. Let me go. Did you put that clip on here?
Oh, you got it? Okay, cool.
Did you put it on here?
Yeah, I got it loaded up. JP.
Do you know which one it is?
JP.
Oh, it does say, okay. Because there's some that just have other stuff on it. All right, so this is a clip from the match.
Yeah, that was the finish there.
Yeah, like, there was a point where I believe he attempted to hit that for the top rope, or did hit it, and then hit it again.
He hit something else from the top rope, but he might have attempted that from the top. Yeah, come to think of it, you're right. He did attempt that from the top rope, and it was countered. Eventually hit it not from the top rope, but his signature, his setup move was from the top rope, and I do have that clip, but I had to shorten my clip to put into the stream. But I do have that clip on Instagram as well, the longer version of that, if that made any sense.
Did it make sense? Who knows? It's not to make sense to me because I was there.
Go to my Instagram. There's more clips.
So where do you see Griffin McCoy going after this in SPO?
I mean, he's one of those kind of guys who, might be in the talk for a title at some point. You know what I mean? But I feel like we would definitely have to see a lot more of them in order for that to become a reality. I don't know. He's go.
Well, you know what? As we were talking about kind of the same conversation with Homeless One and Calculated Kurt Robinson earlier, you know what? How about if it were to be, let's say, Griffin McCoy versus Calculated Kurt Robinson, two guys who just lost their last SPO match,
Right.
and to get back on the winning track? I think that would be a fantastic match. Would
Wouldn't
be
mind seeing
very,
something like that.
like, again, two hard-hitting guys who know what they're doing in that ring. And one day for Griffin, it will be top guy time. It just wasn't last night.
Yeah, he looked like a mid-level guy last night.
And then JP cut a promo afterwards. You know, the typical babyface promo. I do believe he said something about the April show as well.
Yeah. Back at Harris in April.
Yeah. So, you know, you already know I'm ready for that.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
And then after all that, we get a special appearance from Santa Kringle coming out for the kids, giving out lanyards, little footballs like this, Buffalo Wild Wing footballs, lanyards by this, which, by the way, I don't know. I didn't catch it till I got home. This lanyard has a bottle opener on it.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, yep. There's that. The Buffalo Wild Wings football.
Um,
But yeah, and you know, the kids absolutely loved it. He's a great guy. All the stuff he does.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely amazing. And the one thing
does the
that
Santa Gig 365.
and I mean not just that though. Like when he was on Spocast, he doesn't take a penny for any of it. And what he does for these kids who unfortunately might not make it to their next Christmas, not to go try to get on a low note or anything, but it's just amazing to be able to bring that cheer to those who might not get it. So, you know, nothing but respect to you, sir, for showing up last night and everything you do.
Yeah, the kids really loved it.
And now, the first of the double main event of the night, which was Simon Gotch and Rick Blade going up against the Rep. And boy, woo! This match, again, was what I thought it would be.
If one phrase comes to mind, laying it in.
And this match, we didn't even get full entrances, essentially. Like, as soon as everybody was just near the ring, the Rep came out the ring and just let the brawl begin. And that's how this match started, was like I thought we were going to have another match where we might not actually get the match because these guys just wanted to fight.
Yeah, and a fight it was.
And, you know, I feel like most of us just, because of what happened with you getting called out by Rick at the last show, none of us wanted that to happen to us. So, you know, but I said, logically, I should probably pick the Rep, you know, and they proved why they're one of the best tag teams probably in pro wrestling right now.
Yeah, I wasn't considering that Gotch and Blade are not a regular unit, and I feel like that was the difference.
Maybe to a point it was, but I don't think that I think the deciding factor was just Hey, Simon Gotch, he has to keep these guys on the map, right? You look at how big they are. It's kind of hard to keep those guys on the map for a long period of time. And we saw a little bit of the old Rick Blade even during this match.
Oh yeah, right off the bat, early in the match.
Like, Rick Blade definitely turned it up to another level we hadn't seen yet in SPO.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely
nothing.
seeing him do that top rope, whatever it was, to the outside. I was like, wow, man, that's bringing back some memories there.
Yeah. But boy, what do we see now from this? I personally I'm hoping at some point we still get from the last show a rematch between Gotch and Blade, because I want to see a winner in that match.
No, that needs to be decisive. We need that rematch, but we need to handle the business first. And I don't think the business is handled. I mean, looked like both teams still had a lot more to prove.
Yeah, but what does the rep? They're beating everybody in front of them. They beat Primal Fear at the last show. They defeat Gotch and Blade at this show. We know they're definitely gunning for those tag team championships. And right now, let's be perfectly honest, they're probably the number one contenders. If we were to rank it out right now, it would be for me, it would be them 1 and Primal Fear 2.
Yeah. And which I am definitely looking forward to seeing a rematch of the Rep and Primal Fear.
Yeah, I mean, that could come down the line at some point.
Maybe
if we
number one contenders match.
It is something just watching those guys. Like, I'm a kind of a fan of them, but just not of how they present themselves as like real a-holes. We'll put it like that, right? They're real heels. Like they know what they're doing out there, and they're going to do it their way.
And it's all business. They're not out there to smile and laugh. No, they're out there to beat people up.
Yeah, they're not out there to give us high fives or anything. They're out there to tell us who they are and what they're about to do, and then go do it.
Exactly. But after the match, I gotta say, I give them a little respect for getting on the mic and saying what they said.
Oh, 100%. It was also the idea that Gotch and Blade gave them their respect. They shook hands at the end of that match.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then the rep gave their Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah, well, we don't listen to them.
Well, I do.
I mean, I had no choice but to listen, but it is what it is. I don't really have a dog in the fight for the Super Bowl, and I probably won't for the next 15 years. So that's just a whole nother thing altogether. But I really like the showing of respect at the end, because let's be honest, you earned the respect of Rick Blade and Simon Gotch, and they shake your hand after a match. It means something. And that's a moment, just like whether it's the Johnny's Hall of Fame thing, whatever, like getting to see those moments is something special, which is why you should never miss an SPO event. Whether you got to find some way to watch it online, catch it on clips.
Which can be difficult.
Yes, which can be difficult at times. But, however you get to see it, whether it's in clips from our social media, the SPO page when they release it, there are definitely shows you don't want to miss and that you want to see.
But honestly, there's nothing like being there, feeling that energy, having everything happen right in front of you.
The energy is something else, man. Like I said earlier, to where point we had kids having a Royal Rumble behind us in the stands, like super kicks being thrown, Superman punches, clotheslines.
Well, that was too much energy.
Hey, you know what? And security let it go. just like, hey, it's just some kids. They're not. If it gets out of hand, we'll split it. And then, like, it was what, maybe a minute, 90 seconds at the most, and then everybody sat back down.
It was enough time for me to like run to take a bathroom break.
But yeah, so guess now it is time for the main event. And
champion versus champion.
Well,
JCW versus SPO.
But it was only for the SPO championship.
Well,
championships were not. I just want to clear that up when you say champion versus champ. Just wanted to clear that up to make sure.
Well, we get into that when we say it was for the SPO title, but it was champion versus champion.
And boy, what a match it was. The Feral Face defending that SPO championship against who is the current JCW champion in Willie Mack.
The
Feral Face.
Feral Face was sung out to the ring by who was that? I can't remember.
Yeah, my brain's semi-mush right now.
Oh yeah, it was a long day.
It was Dan
rest.
G. Something like that.
I didn't even drink yesterday.
But yeah, go ahead. But yeah, we get that match, and I believe it was Johnny that said it during the Taking It Home show about having that Willie Mack's going to get in that ring. They're going to start that match, and he's going to realize he has to turn it up a little bit because Face is no joke.
Find a new gear, and he did find that new gear.
Yeah, it was Willie Dange that did the performing Face to the ring. Just wow. Like, this match was what I expected and a little bit more.
Yeah. It was a little bit more than a little bit more.
There is a spot in this match that happens outside, practically almost in front of us, where I think it's Willie Mack goes into that ring post.
Oh, we're getting there. I got that clip loaded.
Oh, but yeah, roll the clip for that.
Let me see, because I just labeled them 1, 2, 3, so I don't remember which is which. So I'm just gonna play that one. Okay, that wasn't it. Was okay. We'll get to the turnbuckle spot. No, 2 is. Let me introduce it. So 2. Well, actually, I don't need to. Just play it.
All right.
I'll play.
What? Whoa! What? Where you going? Dude! I'm not going.
I couldn't hear last night what he said when he grabbed the phone. I just heard call something, or I thought he was making call 911.
So I don't know why, but the clip played with no audio. I had to hit the button to unmute.
I heard the audio here.
No, I had to hit the button to unmute it. It was halfway through the clip that the audio.
I don't know. I heard the whole thing here.
Well, let me explain what happens here. So after that last clip of that Inzaguri, Face rolls out of the ring and directly into the seat next to me. And let me see if the audio plays this time.
What? Whoa! What? Where you going? Dude! I'm not going.
So I don't know whose phone that was.
I think it was one of those little kids' phones that were sitting next to you at one point. Or a couple seats
I hope
down.
it wasn't the woman from that couple that was sitting next to us. I'd feel horrible if she left her phone there.
but I got some good stuff of that. I just, like I said, haven't had a chance to go do video. And then yes, the
turnbuckle.
Yes.
This turnbuckle spot was brutal. You can hear my reaction.
Yeah, we're gonna need a minute. Oh my god.
Not turnbuckle, post. But I was thinking the sound of that, just broken orbital. I was thinking right off the bat.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to move his hands and just to see like a busted nose or something like that.
It hit like literally like right here. Like he hit his eye socket.
Oh my god. All right, so while we're doing this, I have the pre-show on for the Super Bowl. And the Mannings are doing their kick of destiny right now, and Peyton shanked it wide left. Man, anytime there's something with the Manning brothers, you know it's entertaining. And they're just doing 25-yard kicks at the moment for the first round. I don't think anybody's ever made the kick of destiny, but anyway, moving back onto the match, which we will get into Super Bowl stuff before the end of the show.
So can you explain what happened next? And I'll show the stop at the pin, and I'll show the clip. But then, can you explain what happened up until the pin?
Where for what? What clip?
Face. No, it's not labeled. It's that 6-second one, but that 6-second clip is the
okay.
pin.
I got it. Okay.
So up until the pin, what happened? Because I was kind of confused.
All right, so we're getting toward the end of this hard-hitting match now. At one point, somewhere within the chaos of Willie Mack being down, Face, for whatever reason, goes under the ring. Oh, it was after he hit the stunner. I'm sorry. They get back in the ring. Willie Mack hits the stunner, and Face rolled out of the ring and went under the ring. So
this is all happening on the far side from us.
Yeah, so this is across on the other side of the ring. Willie Mack rolls out the ring, grabs who we think is Face, rolls him in the ring, and pins him. 1, 2, 3. As you hear me reacting to it.
What? Oh, we got to hear that again.
So,
I stopped the clip short of what he was saying after that. After oh my.
So, we get the 3 count. Well, what we think is the 3 count. And referee goes to ring for the bell. All of a sudden, coming out from under the ring is actually Face, who quickly chokes out Willie Mack to retain the championship. And
I thought it was called a no contest.
All right,
I don't know, maybe.
But he still retains the championship.
Right.
He didn't necessarily lose. He wasn't pinned or submitted, so. But they did initially. Initially, the bell was rung as that being the official end of the match.
Right.
So we essentially get called, I believe, as a no contest. And hopefully, maybe we see Willie Mack in the future. But now I kind of want to talk.
Well, I think we will.
Oh, yeah, because after the match.
Yes, somebody.
So they are beating down.
Don't say the name because I have the reveal loaded up.
All right, so we are now. I'm just going to say this: the way that person came dressed coming out, I thought for whatever reason, I don't know why, because just being in the moment, I thought it was.
Is that Matt Cross?
Yeah, or the Misfit. Like, hey, man,
and it would make sense being a JCW guy.
Yeah, like something that would have just been a fun spot, you know. So we get this
Right.
masked individual during this beatdown, and that's the 18-second clip that I'm looking at the end.
Yes.
All right. So we get this masked individual coming out, and well, this is what happened.
Come on! Dynamite! 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 Dynamite!
So
We forgot to mention that masked individual took out Face and went over to assist Willie Mack before unmasking.
Yeah, so we end up having Pat Dynamite coming out making the save, and it looks like we will have in the future Face and his mini-me versus possibly Pat Dynamite and Willie Mack, the Chocolate Juggalo.
I would love to see it, but I would love to see Pat start going back after that title.
And Pat teased that as well, wanting to chase back after that championship, even when we spoke to him after the show.
Interestingly enough, Pat was booked originally for the show for the ladder match, like I had mentioned earlier. Was double booked that night, so he had another gig. He wasn't going to be there, and then managed to show up just in time for that run-in. It just goes to show that he might be working somewhere else. He might be doing other things, but he wants that title.
Oh, and, he definitely
he's not going to stop at anything to get it from Face.
Yeah, it was something that, you know, I guess that none of us really saw coming because we knew all the other logistics of stuff, and him coming out to make that save at the end was absolutely amazing. Like, that match front to back was absolutely amazing. It was my first time ever seeing Willie Mack compete live.
Yeah, same.
And if he's coming back to SPO, I am looking forward to seeing it again.
Absolutely. Very nice guy. Get to chit chat with him a little bit. Good dude.
Pat got an amazing response. And speaking of responses now, during this match, we have speculated on this recently on our last couple SPO related shows that since his match with Johnny Cashmere, doesn't it seem like the fans are starting to positively respond to the feral face?
I feel like we saw something in that match with Johnny. Even though he lost, we saw just the absolute monster that this guy is. We saw him like Jason Voorhees get punched and hit with stuff and just keep coming. I mean, you know what I mean? That showed me something, and I guess I'm not the only one. I mean, the crowd was pretty split. I mean, there were like, let's go Willie, let's go Face chants back and forth, you know?
And I mean, part of that, I will say maybe is part of, you know, because Willie Mack's not necessarily an SPO guy. He's a JCW guy. You know,
Right.
so
But
it was also home.
He's a big name.
Yeah, but also you're rooting for the home guy, right? But even then,
maybe you don't care about SPO. You just hear the names that are going to be at the show, and you just want to, you know, see the big names.
But I'll definitely say Willie Mack, like 2 minutes into that match, definitely shifted gears and realized what fight he was in for.
He found his sixth gear.
And I mean, props to Face, because on his mark, from his side, to do what he did, pulling that switch to be able to retain that championship. Hey, you're going to do whatever it takes to win. Nature Boy did everything in his power. Which is why he was the dirtiest player in the game, and that's the best way to put it, right? Like, Face knows what
reminded me. What are we thinking? What do we think? We've been talking about Willie Mack, and there has been no whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
There we go. Thank you.
But sorry, yeah, like, that crowd was really split. Do we see a feral face turn? Are we
I don't think
seeing
it'll be.
the fans
I don't think
starting to
it'll be-
connect?
I feel like it'll be one of those non-face turns for face.
I mean, I feel like
Like
even,
it'll be, he won't do anything, but the people will be behind him, and he'll just keep doing what he does.
I mean, even at the last show, like you could see it in the crowd, you could hear it. Like they're responding to him positively. And he's not just getting boos. Like it's kind of 50-50 right now, which you know, hey, that's fine. But is this something that could be leading toward? Because I keep saying, like, if you go look on Instagram and stuff, there's a video, and I believe it's on might be on his page, I'm not sure, where he's coming out the bricks, right? And it reminds me of like Ninja Turtles, in the Ninja Turtles, right? Where Shredder's hand comes out, right? Or like one of those comic book supervillain things where the heroes think they defeated the villain. You get to the last page of the comic, and the villain's hand is just raising out of something. Like, oh, he'll be back.
Or the close up of the killer's mask, and you just see the eye open.
and cut credits.
Yeah.
What could there be something along the line where the fans are just starting to respond to him? Given the level of competition he's been in there with, maybe it might not be necessarily a face turn, but maybe more of a respect.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what it is. I mean, a lot of these guys, you know what I mean? Whether or not you like the character or the personality of the person, you respect what they do. You respect their ability. And there are some superstars out there right now who, like, you might not like them. You might not like anything they have to say, but you respect their ability and you respect what they do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what face is getting more and more of, rather than the outright boo, you're a heel champion, you know?
It's just, wow, where does he go from here? Like, do we see anybody, maybe besides Pat Dynamite at the moment, right? Because even after the show, I believe you were standing there when I said to him, like, hey, when you had that match at the last show, you gave him everything you had. And it was just like seeing that toughness. And it's from both of them, right? And that he's still going to pursue that championship, because the only loss on Pat Dynamite's record is to the Pharaoh face.
Right.
And I think that has put a chip on his shoulder and made him work even harder to want to get back in line for that championship match. But until that time, if there is another gold championship match at some point before then, did we see anybody who might stick out as a top contender for it?
Huh. I mean, I've never thought of it in terms as anyone else right now but Pat, you know?
Oh, no. I agree, but, you know, could there be somebody else in-house, you know?
No one immediately comes to mind, but I'm sure I'm overlooking the obvious.
I mean, there's just so much there to think about, right? Because, like, we had, I mean, maybe somebody like Ruckus.
Yeah, I mean, I see him more as like a faction, like tag team.
So do I, but, you know, just throwing a name out there. Hey,
I don't see Homicide coming back anytime soon.
Okay, so what if I mean, he hasn't wrestled since he won it, but our current silver champion and now celebrity boxing Hall of Famer Johnny Cashmere, maybe.
I mean,
maybe I'm trying to will that rematch into the universe, and maybe something to make it more special. What if the silver and the gold championships were to be unified?
I mean, then we'd be short a title in SPO, but
Hey, you want one title, you want them all, right?
I
But
mean,
no,
I'd still like to have at least a couple.
maybe somebody like Simon Gotch.
Yeah,
At some
and
point
it's
down the line.
I'm not thinking of him or Rick Blade like immediately because they're they've been involved in a tag team. So you know what I mean? I'm not thinking of them in terms of singles. And having said that, though, I'm also not thinking of like Tommy or JP in terms of that because they are, clearly the tag team champions.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be great to see. I would love to see Blade, anyone. Like, there's a dozen names I could name, you know what I mean? But everybody's kind of busy with something else at the moment. I'll be right back.
But yeah, this event from front to back, from the beginning of the meet and greet all the way to the end of the main event, was absolutely amazing. It was a great time. And as I said at the top of the show, props to everybody involved running this show. You know, everybody you could see is putting their heart and passion and all the hard work into it. From the people working the door all the way to people working in the back, doing the booking, making sure all the logistics are in line. It's absolutely amazing. Again, Ruda Entertainment gave away a championship belt even during the event. That was raffled off. You know, it was absolutely a wonderful time with everybody who was involved. Which I'm looking
Shout out
up
to the Nightmare Crew.
Yes, Nightmare Crew was there as well. Always a pleasure to see those guys.
With Mike from our show 2 weeks ago in the house, hanging out with the Nightmare Crew. Eddie Ray, my boy. Great seeing you guys.
Yeah, just all the celebrities that were there, man, was just absolutely amazing. It really was. Like to see something like this, and this is a year. Last year, their first show was what, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
One or the other. I don't know. Neither of us were there. I had to work, and you couldn't figure out where it was and what was going on.
Yeah, you know, thanks, Tommy Dreamer, for not being specific of what Burlington in the United States you were going to be in for that. Because I heard the show plugged on Busted Open.
And if Dreamer would have said Burlington, New Jersey, you would have been there. But it could have been Burlington, Vermont. Who knows? But yeah, in a year, in one freaking year. Oh, there's Mike. Cheers, my man.
Hey. It was great seeing you as well, sir.
In 1 year, they've gone from 50 people in a firehouse with maybe like 2 guys who were in ECW to having just celebrities everywhere. Legit former WWE superstars. Bigger names. It's amazing to see how much this company's grown in a year, and I'm there front row for everything they do now.
And just to be even like this, us doing the show and being just a very small part of it all, it's just absolutely amazing to get to talk about their growth and firsthand getting to see them grow front to back.
I mean, even when we started doing this, they had grown incrementally, but not the amount that they have since we started doing this and since, you know what I mean? Everything that's been going on in the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, even that with everything else, right? It seems like, I would say, from what the stuff I saw videos of the first show, and then going to that second show, and every time we at the firehouse, they had to add more seats. They had to add more bleachers because you could see the growth. And then getting out of that, going to the Gloucester show for the deathmatch show.
Hold on. The third show with the cage.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, And that had 2 pre-show outdoors matches in that cage.
We didn't meet until the 4th show, by the way.
No, yeah.
Because I saw your profile picture on my People You May Know on Facebook, and in the background of it was the cage. And I said to myself, I streamed that cage. I know that cage. And at the next SPO event, I saw you in the crowd, and I said, your name's Mike. You said, yeah. And I was like, you keep popping off my Facebook, People You May Know. We became friends. And I mean, look at us now. Look at SPO now. Look at, like, it's just crazy to think of, like, everything that's happened in SPO.
And then, like I was saying, then that Gloucester show, that was just absolutely amazing, which was our first show that we did together.
Right.
Was previewing that show.
Right.
And then just now, and then moving on to Harris. And seeing the growth in the past year of everything has been absolutely amazing, just to be a part of those crowds and feel that energy just get bigger and bigger every time. And and now having celebrity involvement, absolutely amazing. And just real quick, want to give some shout outs real quick again. Rich Poe, who was a guest correspondent for event, Nailed the Hood Prince Charming, Willie Dange, Tay Rock, Lavari, Ruda for the championship belt.
Ruda.
R5 Media as well. We also had the King Kong radio show there. There were people after their matches going back to that spot doing interviews. And just shout outs to the entire team in the general purpose for SPO.
Yeah. Everything put together beautifully. There we go.
To answer that, I can answer this real quick. SPO probably won't be going back to that Gloucester. At least if they go back to Gloucester, it won't be there.
Yeah, they're not going to be super crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of, does I say, logistics that play into it. But yeah, so
the Firehouse is a better chance of them returning to, but I feel like the new home is Harris. I
would love to see them go back to the Firehouse for like some type of.
If they went back to the Firehouse, like we wouldn't be able to. The place we'd fill the place. Like
we'd have to have they'd have to open the bay doors and put chairs behind there. Like going to Camden for a concert. Guys,
or have it just all outdoors. Have it all outdoor in the parking lot, like the cage.
Sometimes that depends on weather, you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you time it right, you know. But anyway, that's not for us to speculate about. We're just saying, you know, we would love to see it come back, but
yeah,
I think it's going to be Harris.
And I mean, also real quick, shout outs to Mayor Roots, Todd Rod showing up as Rerun.
Todd Rod.
DJ Khalil.
They mean you guys.
You know, like people are showing up and showing out for this event. All the other vendors that haven't been mentioned. Gremlin House Wrestling, which again, this Gremlin Undertaker shirt, which is from them, absolutely amazing. They have some really cool merch and stuff like that. They're getting shows all together and stuff to run. Recommend checking it out on their social medias. But just an amazing show. And I guess since it is Super Bowl Sunday, we do have one more thing to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Why is it Super Bowl Sunday and they're playing an interview with the president?
Oh, that's, you know, that goes hand in hand with football, you know.
But yeah, so Super.
You're frozen there. Okay. I gave you my prediction earlier.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to tell people what that is, but that's not my actual prediction. I said 87-13 Eagles. I just don't see them giving up that many points. Let me give you a realistic, the Eagles, that is. Let me give you a realistic prediction. 45-23 Eagles.
Wow, I still think that's
Saquon-
even a high scoring goal. I think that's even a little high scoring there.
Saquon has 4
Personally.
touchdowns rushing, and why not give Hurts one?
So, would that mean Saquon would be your MVP as well for the game?
Yes.
All right, well, it pains me doing this as a Cowboys fan, but I'm also picking the Eagles to win this game. I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout. I mean, as long as it's not Washington, I will still root for the division for a championship because I still want to say it's the best division. God said, let there be light, and there it is.
I think someone's approving of my pick.
So I'll definitely go with the Eagles as well. I can see Saquon being MVP of the game, but it's also one of the top 5 rushing defenses in the league the Chiefs have. I hope that you guys get off to a quick start because they're usually off to slow starts this season. And personally, I don't know if anybody's seen what is it? Not the longest. I think it's the longest yard. The Adam Sandler movie, the remake, where they're in jail playing football.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
And the first, when the refs are just bad calls against the inmates, he just throws the ball, hits the ref in the nuts, and gets him to start calling the game fairly. I think that's what needs to happen first play of this game for the Eagles. Let's set the tone now. But I'll go with the Eagles, and I'll pick the score 28-24 with a Saquon MVP for the game.
All right.
Because, I thought Saquon, personally, I had no disappointment with Josh Allen winning MVP for the league, but I really thought Saquon deserved it just for having 2,000 yards. And I feel like if he had broke the record and played in that last game, he would have
given it to him.
But Josh Allen absolutely deserved it. I thought Josh Allen deserved it the last couple years. So, but yeah. Again, shout outs to everybody for SPO Wrestling. Everybody doing everything. Fantastic show. I hope all the fans come back out. I hope anybody that sees this, that we've been able to convince you to buy tickets when they go on sale for the next show, to be able to be there and feel the energy and the love of this place and the passion of pro wrestling and the performances put in front of us by each and every talent that gets in that ring, performed for us, or anything along those lines, or just showing up to be part of the meet and greet.
Right. And we do this because we could never do what they do, and we want to give back.
Yes, sir. So on that note, I think it's time for us to say farewell, unless we have, did we want to talk anything else real quick that's happened in the wrestling world this week? We still have a little bit of time. Thoughts on releases?
With all the sensory overload last night, I don't have all of that fresh on my mind.
Well, I was going to say more like the releases.
No, fair enough. Okay.
We've seen AOP released, Blair Davenport released, the Good Brothers released. Sonya Deville's not getting her contract renewed. Like Cedric Alexander released, Paul Ellering. And rumor that there could be more coming.
Isla Dawn, Blair Davenport.
Yeah. Blair Davenport's such a surprise, but she's going to go somewhere and she'll still be a star. Like, if they have them...
B. Priestley is going to be a big name.
I mean, I think there was better people to release than her, but that's my opinion. Because personally, I think somebody else I could see being released, possibly BFAB. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't see it because she's not in the ring enough, and when she is, it's very simplistic. Like, there's nothing to stick out.
Well, we haven't seen enough of her yet. Seen her in 3 matches since she got put on the SmackDown.
And she's been on the main roster for 2.5 years now.
Right. 3 matches. We haven't seen enough of her.
Yeah, so they're not, but you know, they're trying to get her involved in stuff. So hopefully there's plans for her to be a bigger part of stuff. But yeah, hopefully all these guys bounce back. And hey, maybe for some of them in 90 days, we could see them in SPO wrestling. Who knows?
That's what I was going to say. It's always horrible when someone loses their job, but then they can always find a new one somewhere, maybe a little closer to us.
You know, and we've seen it already, at least since the summer. We never know who's going to show up for an SPO event.
Oh yeah, I guess I can take this off now.
But yes, oh yeah, I still have mine on too.
We're not going to be getting back in.
Again, I'll just say thank you to everybody involved for the show last night. Us as fans, we definitely enjoyed it, as we do every SPO show. Stuff should be posted on YouTube soon for full show with commentary and everything. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Johnny Cashmere's socials, Instagram, Facebook, and am I forgetting a social there? YouTube, yes, YouTube, where I usually am in
The
chat.
platform we're on right now.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know, like, what's YouTube, you know? You know, and or at SPOWrestling.com to catch SPOcast, where they will probably be talking about all this since it just happened. So I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. Enjoy the game. And acknowledge your. Yeah, no. I mean, yes, but no. I just hate to say it because the Cowboys fan in me cringes a little bit. But as I tell every Eagles fan who is a common sense sports fan and doesn't just sit there and be hardcore about just to be hardcore about, like every player on that team's the best player in the league, is that, you know, that's a team I do respect because growing up out here all the years of seeing that team be horrible, like the same thing with the Phillies. You know, now seeing these teams be successful and seeing these franchises actually being ran properly, it's something to see. And how much I am above for seeing sports history be made, I don't want to see the Chiefs get a 3-peat. I would rather it spin the Patriots, and that hurts me even more to say. And on that note, I think it's time for us to sign off and for me to go vomit.
If the Chiefs win, does Taylor Swift get a ring?
I think that's up to Travis.
We'll talk about that next week.
That's up that's a Travis Kelce decision. If he proposes with one of his Super Bowl rings, that's on him. It's a horrible decision, but that's on him.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping in.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. As we are planning on much more content to come. It's just having the time to do everything and get the logistics of it down. And to not have the sun in his face at 3:43 in the afternoon. So everybody, again, be safe out there. Have a good time. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And we will see you next week for another episode of BJ and DG Talk Wrestling.
What's that, Gabriel? What's that, Matthew? What'd you say?
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder. Matthew Oman. We are all fight, no fight, primal fear. And you're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Yeah!